So it's activated now. So if I open the front door, alarm's gone off.
Hi guys, today we're taking a look at some of the cheapest smart tech items available on the internet from a company called Zemismart. And this will help to make your home smarter without having to spend a crazy amount of money. And with these items, I'm going to show how to create a DIY smart security system, which will alert you if you have a break-in in your home. So the smart tech would be multi-purpose. The items I'll be using are mainly Zigbee based products, and there's a big advantage in using these over standard Wi-Fi based smart products, as they aren't continuously connecting over the internet back to their cloud server, hence creating additional load on your router. And the more smart tech Wi-Fi devices you add to the home, the load on your router increases. And some routers may struggle with this. And you'll find your Wi-Fi gets unstable if you had a lot of these devices. And that's where Zigbee devices are ideal. Now these devices will require an additional device, which is a hub, and this is used to communicate with all the smart devices, and this hub is the only thing that connects to the internet and in turn reduces the items you have on your network, and this can improve your Wi-Fi stability. And another big benefit is that Zigbee devices have a longer range than Wi-Fi devices. Now these particular devices do work with most Zigbee hubs, like the SmartThings hub for example, but with certain hubs you may notice reduced or missing functionality. I came across this with the Amazon Echo with the Zigbee hub built in, and on a vibration sensor I tested out, the functionality was missing, but with other devices I tested it worked perfectly. I'll be using the Zemismart hub, and you can add up to 50 devices on that. I'll include a card in the corner to a more detailed video showing how to get that set up. And I'll be using that hub with a variety of different devices in this video. So I've got a few lights that they sell, like the B22, E27 and a GU10, together with a few PIR sensors, door and window sensors and a vibration sensor. I'm first going to replace my lights, and this is a simple process of just adding them via the hub. I'm not going to replace all the lights in my home, just the ones in key locations like the living room, dining room, hallway, etc. And to add a light or any other device, you need to get it into a pairing mode, and this is where a light's flashing on the device, or in the case of a bulb, the bulb will be flashing. And if it doesn't, you just need to do a reset. And for a bulb, it's just a matter of turning it off and on about 5 or 6 times. And if you're doing spotlights, do them one at a time. And once the bulb's set up, move on to the next one. So in case you need to do a reset, you'll end up resetting the existing ones you've set up. Next, let's move on to the sensors. And with these, they don't have to be used just for the security alarm. You can also use them for other things. So the PIR sensor could be used in the hallway to automatically turn a light on in the evening and off after a short period. And this is one of the biggest advantages of using smart tech. I'm going to install a vibration sensor on my front door, so I'll be informed if someone knocks on the door, together with a door sensor. The vibration sensors could in theory be used on a window in case someone tries breaking it. The vibration sensor does work well, and sensitivity levels can be adjusted on here via the app. And I've got 2 other doors, and on those I'm just going to install a door sensor. PIR sensors will be installed in all the rooms on the ground floor and my first floor hallway. And if I need to expand further, it's easy to add in at a later stage. I'll be leaving my existing alarm system, which is a basic system, in place, and it's capable of dialing a number if it's activated, but you have to remember a specific code to disarm it over the phone, which is a hassle to remember. In theory, I could use the existing system and the smart system in conjunction if I wanted to. There's no reason why I couldn't do that, and it just gives that additional bit of security. I'll be using a Wi-Fi siren only because I ordered the wrong one, but you can get Zigbee ones, which is the preferred one really to get. I'll install one in my porch area and another around the middle of the house. The siren can take batteries, but I prefer to avoid using batteries and have it mains powered. Now everything's installed, let me show you the smart scenes I've created and how I've set up the alarm. Now looking on my Android phone, going to the Smart Life app, you can see all the devices I've added in. At the bottom you've got Smart, and this is where you can create your smart scenes. So if I now go on to automation, first one I've created is alarm monitoring, so going in there. What I've done, I've added in all the PIR sensors, as you can see, and then scrolling down, you've got the door sensors, and then if there's any motion detected or a door's opened, going down, it activates a task called alarm on. Now coming out of that one, going to tap to run, that's what alarm on is. So going in there, So the first thing it does, it sets the duration of the alarm, it's set to 60 seconds. There's a number of different tracks on the alarm. It sets the first one and then it turns the alarm on. And then what it does, if I come down, it turns on the lights, all the smart ones I've got downstairs, and changes the light to red. I actually wanted it to flash, but there was no scenes available. There wasn't really an easy way to get it to flash. And then looking further down, you can see I've got a smart switch in my living room, turns that on, delays for a few seconds, and then it turns a light on the ceiling and then changes that color to red as well. So siren's going off, all the lights have gone red. So that's what happens when the alarm goes off. Now coming out of that, I've also created 2 other tap to run automations. So first of all, if I go into arm security alarm, first bit of automation you saw, which was alarm monitoring. What this does, it enables that, changes the color in the hallway light just for a moment as an indication. You don't have to have that. I thought it'd be an interesting one just to try out. Gives a delay, turns it off, delays again, turns it on. So sort of flashes for a moment and then turns it off and sets the color to warm white. So it gives that visual indication that the alarm's been set. Back from there and then looking in disarm alarm. And you can see here the automation rule I created, which is alarm monitoring, I'm disabling. Then if the alarm's going off, this will switch it off. The hallway light gets turned on, color changes to green, waits a second, turns off again, waits another second, and then resets the color on all the lights. And then even the hallway light turns off. So that way the colors don't stay on red. So this is the nice thing about being able to create your own custom alarm. So you can integrate all sorts of different ideas in there. So if you wanted a video indicator, you can do. If you didn't, you don't have to. You don't have to buy the bulbs. You don't have to buy all the sensors. Another thing I did want to test out is a panic button, if I could do that. So coming into here, I've got this scene switch here. So what I've done, if you long press on all the buttons 4 at the same time, it can activate the alarm. So it does work well as a panic button. And then coming back from there, I've also tried setting up like a control panel where if you press certain buttons, it'll arm and disarm the alarm. Now, I wasn't too pleased with the performance on that because if I go into one of them, for example, so long press of button 1 and 2, and that'll arm the alarm, and then you'll even get a message to say it's armed. But the problem is if you press all the buttons at the same time, it could have adverse effects on there. So you can't say if the other buttons aren't being pressed, which is a bit of a shame. If it did have that facility, it would be nice, then it could have worked. So you could say these 2 buttons can arm it, or even 3 of them could, and then another combination to disarm it. Does sort of work, I guess, but like I say, it can mess up if all the buttons are pressed or how you programmed it. But again, if someone broke into your house, they wouldn't really realize that's being used as a controller. You could have it stashed away in a drawer somewhere, for example. You can further enhance the functionality you're getting from the sensors by using the Amazon app here. So if I go into there, and if you had one of their voice control devices like this, what you could do, if I go to more, routines, you can create your own routines to actually inform you if something's happened. So for the first one here, going in there, what this one's doing, if the front door sensor's open, it'll actually say front door opened. You could also have the motion sensor as shown here, informing you that someone's in an area. So it's saying here, someone is in the porch. Unfortunately, this functionality is not available on the Google Home side of things, so you can't do a similar thing with their routine. Let me demonstrate the Alexa functionality. So I put my Alexa just over here for now, so you can hear the prompt it gives. Porch door, if I open it, and the sensors just
Someone
there.
is in the porch.
There you go. So that's the first alert, so you know someone's in the porch. And now if I open the front door,
Front door opened.
how cool is that? So you inform straight away if someone's in this area.
So now to test this out, let's arm the alarm. So it's activated now. So if I open the front door,
Alarm's gone off. You can see light's gone red. And now if I disarm it, there you go. How cool is that? So it proves it works. Obviously you've got the Alexa going off as well. And now if we have a brief look at the door, if you watch my phone, if I knock on the door, there you go, sensor goes off. Knock on the other door, there you go, that goes off as well.
So if someone's trying to tamper with the door or try and force it open, the vibrations you get from there, you'll be alerted straight away. It's an excellent bit of functionality you've seen for yourself. How impressive is that? Create your own alarm, put the sensors where you want, and you can integrate it with different smart lights.
If you were away from home, even in another country, you can be informed within seconds of the alarm being activated. But remember, you'll have to have your mobile data turned on or be on a Wi-Fi network for this to work. Negatives wise, if you had an unstable internet connection and the internet was down during a break-in, then obviously the alarm won't be able to notify you. And also it won't be able to work as all the smart functionality is cloud-based. You could get around this by using the Home Assistant or a SmartThings hub, but I've tested myself, just pulled out the Ethernet cable from the hub and nothing would go off. If you're wondering how much this was cost, if you wanted a basic setup, so with a siren, a vibration sensor, 2 PIRs and 2 door sensors together with the hub, you can pick all that up for £100. And again, it's multi-purpose, so you're not limited to just using it for an alarm. You can make use of it if you added lights or any other sort of smart tech to this. So you've seen for yourself, you can get a PIR working in conjunction with a light, or you could even have it additional devices like smart blinds or smart curtains, for example. There's no outdoor siren available, but if you compare this to the Ring alarm or the Eufy alarm, it's a similar sort of situation with them too. You don't get an outdoor alarm, just an indoor alarm with them. And in reality, how often does anybody take notice of an alarm going off outside their home? Now, by using this method, you'll actually get more for your money and dual functionality, as it can integrate with smart tech too.
So there you go. I hope it's helped anyone thinking of setting up their own smart alarm. Details are in the description below, so do check that out. Hang around for the end cards. There'll be some more smart tech videos. Drop me a like, as it really does help the channel out. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.